We shall now move on to the next chapter, structure of the atom. We have learned that matter is made up of atoms and molecules. We know that water is made up of molecules of water, carbon dioxide is made up of molecules of carbon dioxide. What is one molecule of carbon dioxide made up of? One atom of carbon and two atoms of oxygen. What is one molecule of oxygen made up of? Two atoms of oxygen. What is one molecule of nitrogen made up of? Two atoms of nitrogen. So what makes the atom of oxygen different from that of nitrogen? Or in what way is the atom of oxygen different from that of nitrogen? So a question arises. Are atoms really indivisible? Are there smaller constituents inside the atom? So in this chapter, we will learn about the smaller constituents present inside an atom, or we shall learn about subatomic particles. To know about the existence of subatomic particles, let us now discuss an activity given in your textbook which is related to static electricity. The activity given is comb dry hair. Does the comb then attract small pieces of paper? Before rubbing against dry hair, the comb has no charge or it is neutral. But when it is rubbed against dry hair, there will be transfer or there will be movement of some of the subatomic particles called electrons from the hair to the comb, as a result of which comb will now get a negative charge. This comb, when it is brought near bits of paper, will attract small pieces of paper. It is because of the force of attraction between the negative charge on the comb and the positive charge on the bits of paper. We thus come to know that static electricity is due to electric charge that builds up on the surface of an insulator such as a plastic comb. The charge that has built up cannot easily flow away from the insulator, which is why it is called static electricity. Let us now consider another activity given in your textbook. Rub a glass rod with a silk cloth and bring the rod near an inflated balloon. Observe what happens. So we shall first see what will happen when a glass rod is rubbed with a silk cloth. When a glass rod is rubbed with silk cloth, glass quickly loses electrons and silk takes electrons out of the glass rod. So after rubbing, the glass rod becomes positively charged and the silk gets negative charge. Why does the glass rod become positively charged? It is because it is the glass rod which loses electrons. Electrons are negatively charged particles. So as the glass rod loses electrons, it becomes positively charged. In a similar way, see that it is silk which gets negatively charged. So why does silk become negatively charged? It is because silk takes or accepts electrons. You know that electrons are negatively charged particles. So since silk takes electrons, it gets negative charge. When a glass rod is rubbed with silk cloth, the glass rod becomes positively charged. Now when it is brought near an inflated balloon, the balloon will be attracted towards the glass rod. It is because of the force of attraction between the positive charge on the glass rod and the negative charge on the inflated balloon. So from these activities, we can conclude that when two objects are rubbed together, they become electrically charged. Therefore, it shows the presence of charged particles inside an atom.